rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space, coming closer for a taste. And I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame.
Yo!
Going on, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We survived.
It's hump day.
It's hump
Oh,
day.
yeah. Oh,
What's
man.
going on, man? What's going on, John? How you been?
I have been better, but I'm so happy to be here. Oh, man, I haven't been on a live in a while.
They're overrated. They really are, especially when you come on this one. This one's just crap. Hey, Ty's here. What's up, Ty? We got
Ty from Tennessee, the king of Tennessee.
we got Dave from Hudson Motor Visual. My man Fat Glide's here. Hey, you're even here. That's pretty cool. My man
Hey,
DDK's here. Ray's here. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Frogzilla, hello.
Frogzilla's here. Rowdy's here. My boy. Just got to meet Rowdy last 2 weeks ago. Robert, how you doing, sir?
We even got Code Gray in the house.
Oh, no shit. Code Gray, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Buck Brown, what's
Smitty
going on?
riding. Who's overrated? Yeah, me. I'm overrated.
Yeah. Dallas is in the house. Droop's in the house. Hoghead's in the house. Hey, Big Smitty, I wanted to congratulate you. It's my understanding you're now on the board of Harley with that new dashboard. If that wasn't a Goldwing knockoff, I don't know what was. I was like, that looks like a Goldwing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing either, but it looks like a Goldwing.
So
and then you got Professional Monkey. I just freaking shot a reaction video to the CVO launch, and then I look on YouTube. He tells me not to do it. No wonder he hates me. All right.
Well, you fired the first shot, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I might have. I love him like a brother. I mean, not the brother I would invite to parties, but we're a little wound up today.
Oh yeah, it's
What's
been a
going
long
on,
day
man?
Already.
Oh, and I don't know how you guys are making out, but the forest fires from what is it, Canada? You can't even see outside. It's crazy.
I got a picture from my commute this morning. It was like every 100 feet, it got cloudier and cloudier. And after 1,000 feet, you just can't see anything.
Yeah, and Misplaced Motovlogger, my buddy Frank, who lives down the road, he flies the news helicopter for Channel 3, and they had to shut them down yesterday. He said it was a 2-mile visibility. That's how bad it was.
They shut down LaGuardia tonight.
Yeah. Well,
they cancel everything.
It's overrated. They're going to bring masks back. That's what you're going to see next. That's what you're seeing tomorrow. Bring masks.
Oh, great. Frank's a good guy. Frank actually sent me footage over the Eagles Stadium one day. He was flying around that area. And he was like,
very cool.
Check this out. You're an Eagles fan. You'll like this.
He likes to dive bomb my house with the helicopter.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to start chasing him with my drone.
As long as he doesn't pee out the side of the aircraft.
That is a concern. That's his concern. He's actually going to make a cameo in this week's video. So, wow, this week video coming up. But
nice. What are you installing?
We are doing a side-by-side comparison to the Custom Dynamics, the new Road Glide headlight that I have in against stock.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the things that's funny. I put that video together and I forgot to include that. And I was like, that probably would have been helpful. It's like having a pipe video, but you can't hear them. You're like, oh, okay, bright try.
Hey, we found out you ride your bike.
Well, allegedly.
Occasionally.
You didn't see me actually moving on the bike. So the legend is still alive. Kyle, what's going on? Denver's here. Denver's actually doing a live stream on Friday, so that should be cool. Nice.
Very cool.
Now, so Smitty wants to know what kind of cigar you're smoking.
It is a CAO Flathead 660.
Is that a can?
It's a good live stream cigar because this burns for about an hour or an hour and a half. So I know when it's over, it's time to pack it up and go home.
Okay, so when the cigar's over, we're cutting the live stream. Does Merit?
I let it go out. Look at that. It'll keep going.
This is good to be back doing this. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this. Motor Travels, what's going on, sir? So what's new in your world, man? Well, actually, before we get into that, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us the elevator pitch.
I am John. I'm a jackass that rides a Harley, smokes cigars, and drinks coffee while recording motovlogs in a half helmet. So I'm in rarefied air because there's not a whole lot of us half-helmeted motovloggers out there, but I think I've managed to crack the audio, and I got decent videos, so I like tinkering around with that kind of stuff and doing a lot of editing and fancy effects in DaVinci Resolve. So it's kind of my shtick.
Oh, Setzer Pendants is here. The person that I financially like to break. He's nothing but trouble, that guy. Love it, Jay. Yeah. So what got you into the whole motovlogging? We were talking about that the other night. I mean, it's kind of a unique niche. And I mean, you've killed it with your audio and your color grading and so forth. So what got you into it? Were you a small boy in a small village and you grew up with a dream?
I grew up a poor girl in a poor town and made it big on the big stage. Nice. I've wanted to do it for years. I watched like Shade Tree and some other guys doing it. And I'm like, how hard could it be? So the pandemic hits and I've got extra riding time because my kids are going to my mom's house all the time to hang out, give them a change of scenery. And all of a sudden I'm like, I got this free time and I'm going on these rides. And I went on the ride that pushed me over the edge to do the whole motovlogging thing. And I actually went on it recently. So I got to edit that footage. It's only 98 clips, if you can believe it. Okay. So I was like, I don't have time to stop and take pictures. So what's better than that? Strap a GoPro to your helmet and go down the road. Reality. Tay-Ray. So I was like, all right, let me buy a GoPro. It can't be that hard. And believe it or not, I did not understand that me talking at a camera that's up here on my helmet, it wouldn't pick up anything but wind noise. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
So I real quickly found out that I didn't know enough to know enough. So I started digging into it. And then, 450 videos later, here we are.
Okay. So what, so you mentioned it. Let's go into the gear you're using. What are you shooting with?
So I use a Hero 10 in a media mod on my helmet. And then I plug a Purple Panda into it. And then on my handlebars, I run a Hero 9 on the Insta360 selfie stick with an adapter. So it adapts to the GoPro finger system.
Okay. So that's like some sort of sick inbreeding.
Yeah, it's a weird one. So not a lot of companies will make a selfie stick for a GoPro that does what the Insta360 bullet time selfie stick does. And it has the double ball arm mount. So I just go up, screw it on the fairing or on the handlebars, and away we go. So it's really quite easy.
Interesting. So I guess this is the point where we need to ask a loaded question. So, hey, John, what do you edit with?
DaVinci Resolve.
Ding, ding, ding.
And whenever I learn something new on that program, I make a video about it so I don't forget. And a few other people might learn something. So it's kind of my way of giving back.
Okay. Now, was that where you started with DaVinci? Because that's not that seems to be like the really high-end colorist kind of editing software. What got you down that?
I'll tell you what. I started with HitFilm Express, and I hated the UI. So I tried out a couple of other freebies, and I was like, this is garbage. They either made huge files or highly compressed files, and they were kludgy for me to use. I couldn't understand it. So I found Resolve through who knows why now. But I found Resolve, and I downloaded it, and was like, yeah, okay, I sort of get this and that and the other thing. Okay, can I blur a license plate? That was my test. And as soon as I could blur a license plate, I was like, I'm golden. I'll figure the rest out.
That's fair.
And then, yeah, I have my friend Dewey Rides. He actually pushed me. He's like, dude, you got to do color grading. You got to get off the stock GoPro stuff. It'll make your life easier. And once he sat on a video call with me for like 2 hours, it made sense.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's how I got into the color grading. And now we were talking the other night, and I was like, yeah, it's 7 seconds per video because I have my style. I throw it on the multicam clip, and then I start editing, and it's all done.
Nice. I tried DaVinci. When was it? I tried DaVinci a while back, and I couldn't get the grasp of it.
It has a very steep learning curve, which is why when I learn something, I want to ingrain that in my head so I don't forget. So I do a video on it, and I've got like a dozen shortcuts that make editing so much faster and easier. All these people that are like, I'm going to use my mouse and my, I'm going to click and drag and do all that editing. I'm like, no, keyboard plus mouse. I have a speed editor so I can do fancier stuff. Have you seen this? Look at this bad boy.
Oh, is that the Blackmagic one?
It is. So it's the
Nice.
Blackmagic speed editor, and I basically use the jog dial and the multicam controls. And then it's like it probably saves 10 minutes per video.
If you listen very quietly, you can hear Setzer Pendants on Amazon right now ordering. What's up, Rainey? Oh, wait, hold on. I got to do this because this is now officially a thing. Hang on.
You're my boy, Blue.
Hey,
What's going on, Blue? Shortcuts. I'm not calming down, Phoenix. We're nerding out. You could take it somewhere else, buddy. See, I told you, Seth's already ordered it.
hey, by the way, Setzer Pendants, it comes with the license for DaVinci Resolve. So,
Ooh,
yeah, you get the studio version, which has more bells and whistles.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting you say that about DaVinci because I started out with, what was it? iMovie, and then I moved into Premiere Pro. And when I first started using Premiere, I was like, what in the absolute hell is this? Because my work used it. So I had to use it. I had to use it. And now I downloaded Final Cut Pro, and I'm like, how does this damn thing work? Because I'm so ingrained to one thing. It's like switching camera systems. You just kind of, for better or for worse, you just get ingrained.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not switching editors unless they go to a subscription model, which they've promised for years that they won't, because I think I'm over 2,500 hours of editing in the last 2.5 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Seriously, a lot of editing.
It's not easy doing what I do.
I would say not. That's a lot of work.
I use Alex Audio Butler to do my audio mixing. So that's a plugin that works with Resolve and some other programs. And it handles all the levels and the ducking. So if you have talking and stuff, it moves the audio levels around so that you're not like blasting out your voice with music. And then I use Clarity, which is a voice isolation plugin, and away we go. It's like there's my audio. I don't have to repeat lines because the wind doesn't blow out my audio anymore. And it just makes life so much easier.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
So what is the concept of, you're doing a lot of videos a week too. So
yeah,
you've got a workflow that's down.
Yeah, I'm at 3 a week. I've been there for 6 or 8 months now, and no sign of stopping. I tried. I'm not recording this week, so there might be a hole somewhere in the future. But I have the workflow down. It's like it takes maybe 15, 20 minutes to sync up the clips, drop them into a timeline, add the color grading, start editing, add the sound design, hit render, and upload. It's not that hard. So
that's the good thing, right? If you find something that works for you, I don't know that you need to question it, right? It's
right.
It's clearly working for you. Your color grading's like spot on. I mean, it has a really good look to it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a flat profile. So all these guys have a flat profile. You can go into the color setting, and then I actually put out a whole video on how to actually do all that. And then I took that and started tweaking it because at one point it looked too blue, and then it looked too red, and then it didn't have enough contrast and saturation. So I sort of settled on somewhere between natural and slightly stylized.
Okay.
So you can watch one of my videos and, short of actually seeing the side of my helmet in the frame, you can actually just tell it's a Rode Reality video. There it is. That and the cigar smoke.
Every time I watch that, it makes me nervous. I'm like, he's going to crash. He's going to crash. He's going to crash.
I will tell you, I've come pretty close several times, and I've had ash fly up in my face. And there was one video where the cigar exploded and sparks flew everywhere. I think luckily I had my visor down because it was raining, so it didn't catch me on fire. But yeah, it's crazy. And then I've done a lot of handheld stuff lately, so we're getting like the first ride of 2023. I actually unscrewed this while riding down the road and stretched it out and went all the way to the side with it and got the shot that's my banner on my channel while doing 50 mile an hour down the road. Yeah, my wife constantly gets on my case. She's like, "That's not safe, you know. You should have two hands on the handlebars." Yeah. I just remind her the bike physically wants to just stay upright and go straight down the road. I have to actively try to wreck it. So we're doing okay.
That's what Sets does. He shoots one and he rides one-handed. He's chasing himself with a drone. It's interesting.
I would love to do that, but I ride too fast. I mean, just slightly faster than Code Gray.
Okay.
That's one of his jokes. He rides like a Honda 1000 and he does like 30 mile an hour everywhere.
I can respect that. You know,
yeah.
I like to go to Dunkin' Donuts with my four-ways on because you got to be safe.
You do. If you go to you got to go to Starbucks if you ride a BMW, right?
Yes.
That's the whole thing there.
Wait, I think he called you out, Rainey.
Yeah, I sort of did.
Wow, that was foolish.
No, it wasn't Rainey Rider. It was who was it? Did Misplaced Motovlogger? Did he ride a BMW, or did he have a Yamaha?
He had a Triumph.
He had a Triumph before the.
He might have actually had a BMW. He's had a. What did he have when I met him? He had the Scout when I met him. Then he had the Triumph, and now he's got the Road Glide Standard.
Finally,
Duncan is not dangerous. Oh, come on, man.
Duncan is dangerous.
We had something.
Duncan is dangerous. That stuff's it's almost as hot as McDonald's coffee.
It is. I mean, you know, I like Dunkin'. You go there, you place an order, and you have no idea what's going to happen. You may get what you want, you may not. You know, they refuse to sponsor my channel, which I'm still a little pissed about. But you know,
you are, yeah.
Can't fit donuts on a Sportster.
You need the hard bags.
Yeah.
My wife has a Sportster. It's got hard bags on it.
There is nothing better than going through a drive-through on a motorcycle because you always get the same reaction. What are you gonna do? Like, I can put food in a side bag.
So I kid you not. I knew a guy who used to be a factory Moto Guzzi racer, and he was a mechanic. So he actually took a police bike. It was a 1000, and he took a Moto Guzzi 650, and he combined the two somehow into where it was 1,000 cc's with a 2-speed automatic that he locked in second gear, and then he rode it like a twist and go scooter all over the place. And he'd show up at the cigar shop, I kid you not, with a cup of Starbucks coffee in one hand and the throttle in the other.
Okay.
To answer Sets or Pendants there, she rides twice a year. I make her ride, and she's been in a couple of vlogs. If you go back, we went to Gettysburg a couple of years ago. But she doesn't ride much since she had kids. I don't have kids.
That's fair. That's her responsibility, not yours. I mean, you're doing the right thing.
Right. I'm over here trying to make the big YouTube ad revenue.
Right. I mean,
Big Smitty, the cappuccino maker. I saw that. It's in the rear trunk area. You lift the lid and it pops up, and the little tray sticks out so you can put the Keurig cup in it. Yeah, I saw that.
Smitty's got junk in his trunk.
Well, you know, I think we all do at this age.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a thing. You know, what are you going to do?
I put on my green jacket the other day, and I'm like, this shit's tight. What the hell? my gear doesn't fit.
That's the thing that really sucks, right? If you don't ride all year round, you put your gear on in the summertime, you're like, oh, it's a long winter apparently.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my winter gear fit fine. It's my summer gear doesn't fit yet. Oh my God, 50 cal ammo cans. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's a rat bike aesthetic.
I like it. So I didn't even ask, where do you live for the folks that are watching?
I am in Maryland, just north of DC.
So where in Maryland? Because we had my former job, we had an office in Odenton, right by what is the big airport in Baltimore.
Oh, so I'm like 45 minutes to an hour west of Odenton.
Okay.
So just straight across. If you hit Frederick, you're too north. If you hit DC, you're too south.
Okay. We'll have to meet up in Rye because you're not that far at all.
Yeah, everybody says that. You're in Jersey, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Central Jersey. I'm like 40 minutes north of Philly.
Oh, that's not bad.
We do have
the only experience I have with Jersey is driving to Atlantic City.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Yeah, we don't like to claim Atlantic City. You know it's bad like when even the hookers are leaving Atlantic City. It's Atlantic City's bad. Atlantic City's now in a handbasket.
Not fun.
Not fun at all.
That's right. Maryland likes to disavow Montgomery County and Baltimore City and make you think it's just like farmland, but it's not.
Yeah, we went to Baltimore to see a play, and it was like the land of the lost. I couldn't believe it. We stayed in a downtown hotel, and there was nothing to do. You walked out, there was nothing there.
No.
What the absolute hell?
There's an aquarium and a baseball stadium, and that's like it. And I don't go to Baltimore.
Yeah,
the crime rate is just too freaking high.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy, and we went to see the Les Mis national tour, and it was absolutely crazy. I was really disappointed, but yeah, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm not going to Laconia, especially if Setzer's going to be there.
Yeah. Well, he probably won't be because the Amazon drivers might follow him.
Goodness.
That's probably about having a conversation with him. It's like, yo, bro, I saw this. I got this gimbal on Amazon. The next day you get a picture. Oh yeah, dude, I got the same one. It's awesome.
Now you're just on Amazon looking stuff up, and you're like, "Hey, Setzer, I bought this thing," which you didn't actually buy, and then he gets it, and he doesn't like it. And you're like, "Send it to me." They have. Hey, Des, what's happening?
Yeah, he's all in. If you guys haven't had a chance to see his podcast and see his audio and his video and his multi-camera setup, it's a must watch. Fantastic.
Oh man, he spent more in gear than I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm up to like $7,500 in gear, humble brag. And I think he's got me beat by like threefold.
Yeah, he went all out. You know, when you tell somebody they need to buy all Canon L glass, it was a joke. Apparently he took me serious. So.
He got every one of them, right?
Yeah, he's like, I'll take them all. Just send them. Just send them all.
I don't run anything but a fixed lens. I got my Sony here. Love it.
How do people live like that? Which Sony?
Easily. This is the ZV-1.
Okay. How do you like it?
I absolutely love it. I did not want something that wouldn't fit in my pocket. So if I ride my Kawasaki's, this will fit in a jacket pocket, and I can do off-bike vlogging when I get to a destination. But I'm actually in love with the video quality and the picture quality that comes out of this compared to like trying to vlog with a GoPro.
You know, and it's funny because that was the only thing that I shot with for initially. And then once you go to any mirrorless setup, or I would argue almost any setup beyond that, you forget, you don't realize how shitty the GoPro is.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it's a GoPro.
And it's so compressed. And like, if you use the flat profile, you're getting what the sensor actually sees. So you're getting like twice as much raw data, but it's compressed like so much compared to a dedicated camera. Even the phone is like, it's okay, but you can tell that it's trying to add the bokeh in and all that. What's up, Ryan? Black Phoenix Entertainment.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. It's a very, very slippery slope. Oh,
I'm sure. You're running the R6, right?
Yeah, I have an R6, and then I have what this is the Canon M200. Ooh. The R6 is an investment, but I'll tell you what, that thing's money. But in all fairness, when I left professional photography, I was shooting with the Canon 1D. Actually, I take that back. When I left, I was shooting with a Nikon D3. which was full frame. And once you do that, you're fucked. There's just no other way around it.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the full frame.
Well, yeah, and the problem is too that it's once you shoot with that, and once you're, I mean, I was a photojournalist at 19. And once you shoot with that in your head, where a 28's a 28 and a 50's a 50, you can't get away from that. You know, it's like you buy an M50, you're like, oh, it's got a 15 to 35 or whatever the fuck it is, and you're like, what the hell is this? It doesn't translate into human terms.
You know, it's like switching video editors.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't understand. I totally get it. And that's why I got this, because I was like, dude, I'm not going to go spend $2,000 on a camera and then $3,000 on glass and then go do what I do. I wouldn't get any return on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's that. Well, I mean, look, yeah.
It's either, hey, look, it's buy one of these and 3 GoPros, or buy one of what you have and no GoPros.
Well, but see, that's the thing. I don't shoot on my bike as a rule. I'm going to probably start more, but like, that's not my thing. So the GoPros have never been because you were saying you upgrade your GoPro, what, every year?
So I skipped the 11 because I had such a heartache over the 10 because they just introduced so many new bugs. And like the 8, dead nuts reliable. It's what I'm using as a webcam right now. That thing's been a workhorse for 3 years. The 9 was okay, but it had some issues. The 10 was even worse until I worked around them. So I was like, nope, I'm skipping the 11. I hope they fix it all in the 12.
That's fair. That's how I felt with the 7. I really liked the 7, and then I went to the 9, and I'm like, eh. I mean, the flat profile is not the same on the 9. The 7 had a really flat profile.
Really? More like log, right?
Yeah, it had that very log feeling to it.
Oh.
And I don't know. The log's cool, but I feel like log for doing like installs and stuff is just overkill. Unless you're just driving it, like you said, dropping a profile and calling it a day, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, if
just
you figure out what you like and you roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying the other day. Is that's what I've been doing. I've been using that cinematic profile, and it's funny because I didn't even realize it until we were talking last night about how they recommend you turning down the saturation and stuff. But it works. I mean, you know, it gives it a certain look, and it's easy to reproduce. Which I don't know. It's an install video. It doesn't need to be Peter McKinnon. It just doesn't.
Right, but the big thing with shooting in log is you get the extra data, and you can pull that, you can tease that data out of the shadows. So like install videos, like we were saying, is, you know, you're shooting into a spot that's dark, you can't get a light everywhere. It's hard to light the scene. And if you can pull the shadows out, you get more data in the shadows, then you can show the viewer better what's going on. And Seth asked, have I replaced the back glass on a GoPro? No, but if you can see there, I have a screen protector on this one. Right there, you can see I cracked it twice.
Oof.
Yeah, it was mounted up on my next to my windshield, so it wasn't protected. And I got home one day, and the back glass was like shattered. So I got a $10 Amazon special to fix it.
Nice, Rainey. What time are you going to be on at 10? Or I'm sorry, on Friday to talk about CVO? Because CVO is the new hotness, man. I pre-ordered mine. And by that, I meant, you know, I didn't, but.
My wife hasn't saved up for one. I told her.
What's that?
I told my wife, save up for one. I want to get one. You weren't on that live where I explained how my wife actually bought my Street Glide for me.
That's how I wound up with both my Harleys.
Yeah. I ended up with the Vaquero first and then the Street Glide. Every time she got pregnant, I got a new bagger.
That makes sense. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. Shockingly, we only have 2 kids now.
She got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. That seems fair. I mean,
it works.
If you don't have a motorcycle, you have to deal with kids. That's
right.
Let's deal with that.
And the motorcycles are my kids. I take very good care of them. I think I washed my Street Glide more than I bathed the kids.
So Rainey's going to be on at 7. So that's 8 Eastern Standard. Cool.
Yeah.
CVO. We're actually going to be on with Denver at the same time on Friday. That's
Battle of the Lives.
Haven't had a chance to hang out with Denver, and apparently I was going to open it today, but I have to wait. I have the mystery package that arrived from Seattle, so we're going to open up that on live. It's probably a bomb, and it's probably the enemy. But
Oh, don't say that. You'll get demonetized.
Yeah, but think of the views.
Oh, the views will be off the chart.
What I was thinking about doing was just kicking the camera out midstream. Look at me, just up, no! With the little bomb effect.
That would be hilarious.
Boom.
Oh man.
Game over.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So let's talk about your audio. So what is your key? I mean, so you're using the plugins, but what's your natural setup, your setup before you go to all that?
Because I have everything at the ready. Look, this is where this porch is where I do all my editing and I store all my crap here. I've got the Purple Panda in here. It's got a furry dead cat on it that came with it. And then it's wrapped in microfiber, just a little strip. And then boom, that runs through everything that's over here. And it's all taped up now and it comes out and plugs right into the Hero 10.
Very nice. The Purple Panda's got a really nice sound to it. Censor Penance wants to demonetize stuff, gets you subs, then monetize everything after. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Talk about 32-bit float because he has it and he doesn't know how to use it. So
you don't have to do anything to use it. You just turn it on and it works, right?
Don't tell him that. Don't ruin the.
It doesn't. It's not that simple.
Yeah.
You need a professional at $300 an hour to set it up.
Exactly.
And you have to fly me and Bri out to set it up, and then do a podcast with us.
I wonder if that could. Oh yeah, that's
Keltfire. What's up?
Kelt's here. What's going on, girlfriend? Got a chance to meet Kelt and Dez in New Jersey at the Baggers and Brews ride. It was a good time. It's a really good time.
Nice yeah, Keltfire is going to be at VAM this year, so I'm going to meet her and Fat Glide down there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm planning to go. It'll be my first. Be the longest road trip I've ever done on a motorcycle.
Okay. Oh, so you're like me? You only ride to Duncan, or?
I ride to work and back, so it's 30 miles, 40 miles each way.
Okay.
Actually, this past month I've gotten out every weekend for a 6-hour ride, so been pretty happy with that. Smyrna Cowboy, what's up? Which John am I talking to tonight? She asks. The calm and collected one, not the manic one that puts out videos 3 times a week. Ooh, we're not touching that one.
The whole time, Kelt was saying that she really is looking forward to getting a Rogue Glide. I mean, you couldn't get her to stop talking about the Rogue Glide. I was like, Kelt, come on. She wants to be, she's got that Sportster, but I think she's got bagger envy. I really do.
Everybody does.
I mean, once you go bagger, you kind of go, but you can't go back.
No.
Oh, no, man. Matt's here. What's up, sir? We had a chance to see him catch up again at the.
Oh man, we got everybody. We got all the highlights here.
Yeah, we got. No, she's not buying a Road King. She's buying a Road Glide.
Now she wants a radio.
If you don't have the radio to listen to Rick Ashley, I mean, what's the purpose of having a motorcycle? The King's
Rick Ashley or Rick Astley.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Let's just, I'm still recovering from the Ed Sheeran concert I went to. So.
Oh, that's right. How was that?
Apparently he doesn't sing Hips Don't Lie. That's Shakira. So that pretty much sums up my experience.
Right. So you know a ton about Ed Sheeran, apparently.
Yeah, I knew like 2 songs. I had a great time. And all kidding aside, fantastic entertainer. I had never seen the loop pedal. I'd never seen it live. That was really cool. It was a great concert. Just it was kind of surreal because I didn't know anything. Like, oh, okay.
And now you have a hall pass from the wife, right?
Yeah, I'm doing like the white man clap. Hey,
were you doing the Carlton?
I was, but it was good. It was really good. It was really good.
Oh, that is too funny. I've been to a concert in freaking 15 years. I think the last one I went to was Rush. Snakes and Arrows tour.
Yeah, Rainey, let's catch up, sir. What does it get with me for a trip to my interview coach? Huh? Not really sure I understand that, but that's all right. Yeah, let's catch up. Yeah, it was Rainey's doing interviews twice every weekend, which is cool to see because not many people are doing that. He's doing it in a very more formatted style. Like, well, this isn't really formatted, but it has a better flow than just a drunken 18 people screaming over each other, which can be fun. There's a time and a place, but
yeah, it's Friday nights out of Florida.
Oh, Rainy, really? That'd be nice. Just tell me when. I'll be there.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have my kid every other weekend, but we can figure that out. I'd love to come on. Thank you for the invite. That'd be great. Absolutely be fantastic to sit down with you. He's the Indy Ridge man now. He's the gatekeeper. You don't fuck around with him. He'll take your boots.
Damn.
He actually can repo your boots. People don't realize that.
I had no idea. They send the Pinkertons to your house to collect them?
Yeah. I mean, he's hardcore. He don't fuck around. You mess up, they take your boots.
And I tried to get in on the Indy Ridge Insider program, and I was swiftly declined.
So you're on the outside of the insiders?
Yeah, I'm still wearing my Harley boots.
Okay. Yeah, Rainey, I'll shoot you a message tonight. Again, thank you. Rainey's
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they've turned on you that quick. Damn.
Oh man. Hey, $20 is $20, right?
Yeah. I mean, Frank's just got his Road Glide and oh, we take your laces. That's pretty funny.
Oh.
Well, if Steve would make zippers, I'm just saying, wouldn't have his problem. That's why they don't invite me to design meetings. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Yeah. Frank got his Harley, and now he's throwing shade at all the other brands again.
Oh, dude. The problem, though, is he's got the baby shark. He doesn't have, like, the big Papa shark. And this is an honest-to-God true story. If you've ever seen the video of Frank doing the drive-by or the ride-by on my bike, it's short that I put up. I don't think that boy went more than a quarter mile and comes back and is like, I need this seat and I need this bike. And he's ruined.
Oh, yeah. Once you get on a Harley, man, there's just nothing else.
Yeah, it's weird. I went to Harley kicking and screaming. I was never a fan. I used to make fun of them. I was just absolutely never a fan. And then when we had the Intruder 1500, we were out riding one day, Kate got off the bike and fell off the bike pretty much. Was like, I can't do this anymore. This bike's so uncomfortable. Next thing I know, we're at a dealership buying an Ultra. Things happen.
You're not going to complain. The meme that escalated quickly comes to mind.
Yeah, and the famous quote of that day is, or the story is that we're in the showroom and we're kind of bantering back and forth whether she wants to buy the bike because that's my wife, and I'm kind of like, it's a lot of money. Do we really want to buy this? This guy walks up to her and says, "Look, ma'am, let him buy the fucking motorcycle. He wants it. Let him buy it." And she turns around and she's like, "I'm the one arguing to buy it. He's the one arguing not to."
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I did have the Vaquero, and I turned to my wife and was like, "So I think I'm going to buy a Street Glide." And she just turned to me and went, "New or used?" And I was like, "We'll get back to who you are and what you did with my wife later, but used." And then she looked at it. She looked at the used one. She's like, "It's not really your style. That blue one in the showroom is more your style. You should ride that one." And I came back with this poop-eating grin on my face. And she's like, "Oh, I guess you enjoyed it." I was like, "Yeah, I need to smoke." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Like after good sex." And she goes, "Huh?" I was like, "Oh, come on. We have kids together." She's like, "Yeah, I got what I needed out of it. Let's go buy the bike."
Wow, that was all right. Well,
yeah, it's harsh. That's why I let her make all the money and pay all the bills. And
that's why I got a sugar mama, man. It's
exactly
better.
Kept man is the best man to be.
Am I wrong? No. Yeah. So we bought the Ultra. I was going to buy a black Ultra, an Ultra, because that's all they had. And she found the one that we ultimately bought in the back of the showroom. And then she was the one that pushed me to buy the Road Glide, which is a fantastic motorcycle.
Can't go wrong with it.
I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, to be honest. I'm going to delete that clip of this. I'm going to edit that out later.
I rode them back to back one day. I rode a Street Glide and then a Road Glide. And honestly, I felt like the Street Glide felt like home. And the Road Glide was real kind of just not as comfortable for me.
Yeah, I rode a Street Glide 3 weeks ago, and I was really surprised at the difference from being just on the Road Glide for a year. And again, I don't know that one's better. I know for me at like 6'2", 6'3" in boots, the Road Glide's better, but it doesn't make it a better bike. It's just what fits me. And I mean, that's really the key to it.
Yeah, I mean, from the fairing back, they're all the same.
Yep.
I just wish they'd put taller shocks on the specials, because the specials only have 2 inches of travel.
Yes.
And that's horrendous on Maryland roads. I'm constantly chewing up wheel bearings and tires.
Yeah, we were looking at getting a special, and then it was really cool. We were in the sister dealership where we bought our bike, the Road Glide, and nobody was in there. And 2 of the sales guys and my wife were just kind of like shooting the shit. And I didn't know that, because not only that, or the wheels are thinner too. They're not as deep. They don't have that. I don't know what the term is, but they're not as high.
Really?
So, yeah, it's nowhere near as smooth. And the guy was like, well, if you buy this, you could build it out, but if you're gonna do hardcore touring, the either the standard or the full limited is the way to go. And I was like, oh, okay, because you can't take the lowers off, obviously, but you at least can take the what do you call it off? You can take the top off. Yes, Dominic, the shallow wall tires things. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
You would never know that my father was a mechanic, ever. You wouldn't. Who knows?
My dad never worked on bikes.
Yeah. Yeah. And Matt, that's what it is. To me, it feels smaller. Right. And again, I was really surprised when I got back on the Street Glide of how small it was. But it's kind of, it's what you work. Conversation. Look, Kel, I'm just going to go online. Look. Denver sent me his package and wants me to open it on a live stream. Please interpret that how you will. But again, like John said, $20 is $20. I mean, OnlyFans is going to make me more money than YouTube ever will. So
I have a reverse OnlyFans. People send me money for me to keep my clothes on.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah, but I'm afraid if I start wearing leather and chaps, I could just go for a different demographic.
You will end up in the Blue Oyster Club.
Yeah,
Mahoney.
It's funny. I was never a chap guy until I put chaps on. I was like, all right, these are comfortable. I could rock these. Brian is the chicken lady.
Brian, chicken lady. Did you get the chaps for summer or winter riding?
More for winter.
Yeah. So
hey, Denver, hang on 1 second. Denver, I'm going to open it on your live stream on Friday. I figured it'd be more fun. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this past winter, Bond sent me a pair of their winter riding pants. And
okay.
I don't need chaps. They fit under my jeans, and they've got all the 9 different, CE2 rated armor or whatever. And it's like 8 mil yoga pants or whatever that material is, spandex.
Okay.
And they make 30 feel like 50. Like I totally was riding around all winter long, no heated gear other than my grips. And I was like, this is great. This is comfortable.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I don't have to wear chaps. I can keep my ass covered.
Yeah, I never got the whole chaps thing. And then Katie got a pair. And I was like, I'll try them. And I took them out like when it was cold. I was like, all right, now I get it. Now I completely get it.
Yeah, they give you a little more wind protection, right?
Yeah. Well, and unless you're going to buy, I mean, especially for work, it's really hard to find like heavy duty jeans like there were back in the day. All these jeans now are so lightweight. It's nice having the chaps over top of it.
Oh, nice. I have a pair of insulated jeans from years ago.
Okay.
That work well, but it was never cold enough this past winter to wear them.
No, it didn't get cold at all. Kelt apparently wants to see some package action. Fat Glide, rein her in, please. Just rein.
You can open it up here if you want. I don't care.
No, Denver suckered me into going on a live stream Friday on his channel, so I'm gonna wait. Because that way, if it is a bomb, my channel stays intact.
I like
Although
the way
you won't get the views.
No, and you won't get the ad revenue either.
Well, I'll be dead, so it'll be my parting gift to him. I can't believe that Brian died on. He's got to come up with a good catchy title though.
Yeah. I tried that when Dewey went out of town. I was like, I'm kicking him out of the country. And that live stream didn't go anywhere. I didn't get the views.
It's gas videos. That's the money.
The gas videos?
Got to put a video on how to fuel up your bike. People love that shit.
Oh, good. No, I did one. I was filling up and gas. I was recording and gas is just spilling all down the left side of my bike. The damn pump didn't shut off.
Denver, seriously, I'm going to open it Friday when you're live. I'm not joking. It's funny. So no joke. I did that gas video. That's what people kept telling me. You're sitting on your bike, fueling it up. You're going to burst into flames. How many people do you know that have burst into flames fueling their motorcycle? Like, come on.
7.
Come on.
7. 7? Yeah, 7.
I know 7 people.
Yeah, I don't either. I just made it up, but it seemed like a reasonable number. Brad the Biker is the bomb. There's the title for the live stream.
There it is. I can't believe that it would be, let's see, one reason to hate your Road Glide. It's just me bursting into flames.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Why my Road Glide is hot.
That's good. You got to go with the clickbait on that.
Okay.
You got to get a little bit. They call it gray bait, where you actually sensationalize it just a little bit more than necessary, but you follow through with the idea or the premise of it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's really what it's all about, right? Because the thumbnail and the title don't have to have anything to do with the video. Because at that point, you're just sucked in. What are you gonna do?
Click off the video.
Well, there's that, but I don't know. We were talking about this last night. I don't have a problem with clickbait if it's done right, but it's like when it's constant, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
almost die.
It's got to fall. It has to fall into that gray bait category where you follow through and you give the viewer the thing they came for. They just might have to wait for a buildup for it.
Exactly. It's all about the buildup. You got to leave them wanting more.
That's why you're waiting 2 days. You're gonna win the contest, Jerry.
See, here's my thing.
Whoa, we don't want to see your thing.
If I open the package on his live stream and it's fucked up and it's some sort of crazy thing, that's on him. Because my luck, I'd open it up, it'd be an inflatable goat, and then I have to explain why I had an inflatable goat on my channel. It gets weird.
It does get weird. And he sent it to you to ride on the back of your bike.
Exactly. Well, Kelt sent me, I don't know if you can see it. Kelt gave me a goat. I'm going to put him on the back of my bike.
Because you are the greatest of all time.
No. That is definitely not true. One day I'm just a Bill waiting on Capitol Hill. And then we got to meet Dallas and his lovely wife Penny. That was nice.
Yeah. Where was that?
He was the city mouse in the big city.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I read my kids that book.
He just kept saying, I can't believe New Jersey's like this. Yeah. The problem is, you want to see something funny, you have to see Dallas talking to somebody from New Jersey. They've recited War and Peace, and he's still working on the first sentence. I'll tell you what.
He's trying to translate.
No, all kidding aside, Dallas, it was awesome to see you, sir. Well, Fat Glide, that shirt's going to show up somewhere. I'll leave it at that. Don't ruin my surprise for Kel.
Oh God.
First off, Roy's not putting me out. We know this. Let's assume. Oh shit.
This just went down a dark path, didn't it?
This is their thing, right? They build you up. This is America. They try and build you up and then they just tear you down. When Blue turns on you, things got bad.
Yeah, that's bad. I was talking to Blue this morning. He thought I could fix a problem for him at work, and I was wholly unable to. By the way, Blue, I thought of somebody in IT that can help you, and he's over there.
I don't work in IT. I'm a mortician by trade.
Yeah. When's open mic night?
I don't know.
Thursday. Thursday's open mic night. The autopsy.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Try to keep up. I know I'm not that
sorry.
slow today.
You know, I've been hanging around with people from Tennessee. It slows the mind. You know, you really want to embrace the conversation.
Yes, you're just letting it ingrain itself into your whole being. I understand.
Exactly. You know, you gotta just kind of take it in. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I don't know. I will say that Blue is hilarious on the phone, though. He talks completely different there than he does on the live streams. I paid attention,
geez.
Blue.
We could hook the Roadcaster up and call him. That might actually be fun some night. Just randomly start calling people, like Droop giving out Monkey's number in a live stream, which is by far is the best live stream ever.
Oh my goodness.
And unfortunately, like all good live streams, it doesn't live on YouTube anymore.
Oh no. Oh man.
Oh
So
shit.
you said you're going to start actually riding. You're going to do some vlogs.
I was thinking about it. I mean, I've done some before. I've been debating about it. I just don't. I'm not a vlog person, but I think it would be kind of cool to mix it up. But it's just, you know, I'm not a storyteller. You know, I applaud people that can do it. It's not really my thing. We'll see. Be a lot of me going, yeah, okay.
So that's what the editing is for. One of the things I noticed early on was that I had a lot of those filler words. So I started reading articles on how to get rid of the filler words and tell better stories. So I started practicing doing that. And then a friend of mine was like, dude, your storytelling has gotten much better in the last couple of years. What have you been doing? And I was like, shit ton of YouTube, man.
That's funny. Oh, we got motorcycle royalty in the house.
Oh, Moto Blonde. Hello.
We got the 4'8" Moto Blonde in the house.
Still taller than me.
Yeah, she's not 4'8", but it is funny.
Still taller than me. What about the knee?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that was great.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I think I saw that one. I think I was in there. I was like, what? I didn't call him though.
Well, I think it was one of them called me, and then the next thing I know, they were calling Monkey, and Monkey's number is given out on live. That was pretty damn funny.
That's bad.
4'8.5".
That half inch makes a big difference. Just saying.
My favorite video of hers is when she's riding the big wheel bagger. She's rocking it out. It's awesome. Very good stuff. So what is so you mentioned storytelling. What's your so what is your advice to people who want to motovlog? Because we were talking about this last night. I mean, it's a niche. It's a niche of a niche, right? And motorcycles are kind of a niche, and then you're going into even a smaller niche of that. So what's the deal? What's your success, you think?
Don't expect greatness overnight. It takes I get a lot of comments on my videos, and the people are very kind, and that they have nice things to say about how well I can tell a story and multitask riding a bike and talking and smoking a cigar and drinking coffee. And I'm like, it didn't happen overnight. Scroll back 2 years and those videos are crap. The audio's shit. The video isn't stable. And it's just the storytelling's all over the place. And now the storytelling's still all over the place, but there's a lot more comedy infused. But my biggest advice is just be yourself. So don't amp it up. Don't tone it down. Just put yourself out there and you'll stand out from the crowd, because you got to do something, right? There's thousands of people that ride a motorcycle and talk to a camera while they're doing that. And so you got to stand out with either your point of view or your comedy or the scenery. And since I don't have, scenery, I got to dive into the comedy a little bit and just kind of do the funniest thing I can think of.
Well, I think you had brought up a good point, though, because I feel like if you're being yourself, you kind of can't fake that, right? Like it or not, that's who you are. And if you do that, it's kind of you can't lose, right? Because you're not pretending to be somebody else.
Right. When I first started, I tried to be like the big time moto vloggers I was watching. And it was like, this is not me. And then I realized, what do we got? Rainy Rider. Oh
So
God.
I guess they're showing up in 10 minutes. Show up drunk.
Know where I'm going later.
I'm going to show up and give my design speech of why, I want zippers on my boots.
No, you got to go with the buttons.
Buttons on boots. Okay.
Buttons on boots.
I want Dunkin' Donuts boots. I think that'd be cool. Hey, Cal. Oh, thanks for joining, Cal. That was sweet of you. I didn't realize that. That was really nice.
That.
Cal's a member. What?
Nice.
Thank you, Cal.
3 snaps for Keltfire.
Yeah, in Z formation. Kel's awesome. She really is. There was a lot of fun meeting. There were so many people at that event that I hadn't met yet. It was pretty cool. Save the zippers for the interview. Yeah, I'm gonna go full rogue. I'm just letting you know. If Steve doesn't call me halfway through the interview, I haven't tried hard enough. Yeah, that's no, I think you're right. I mean, I think if you're gonna be anything, be yourself, right? Because I know a lot of people, and that's their shtick. They can turn it on and turn it off, but I don't have that in me. I just don't. I am who I am. If you like it, great. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, even doing this for so long, you get your following, you get the people are going to watch your videos. Everybody else kind of pops in occasionally and checks something out. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the 100,000 video, 100,000 view videos. It's not, unless you're like Shade Tree Surgeon.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Oh, what's up, Everyday Saturday? So Dr. Harley is going to be on an upcoming episode of Everyday is a Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. First off, thank you for your service. I didn't get a chance to say that, in Rainey's as well. And I know we have other vets, and I apologize if I don't remember everybody. But yeah, he has a new upcoming channel. Dr. Harley's going to be on it every day. Can you post when he's going to be on? I'm not really sure, but he is coming up. And that'll be pretty cool. It'll be nice to see Dr. Harley in a different yeah. Anyway, that's the real me. I'm just like,
that's what the editing is for. It takes seconds.
Now I know why I don't do moto vlogs, because Kate used to be on the comms going, what you said made no sense. Have you met me?
Right.
Just go with it.
I have this whole thing now where my videos start at one spot and they end up in 4 other spots. It is so rare for me to actually come full circle and finish a thought. So yeah. I just, and then you get Ty from Tennessee who comments. He commented one time. He's like, John, I love hearing you yell at the Cagers. And I'm like, that's it. That's my thing. I'm doing that from now on. So now I yell at the Cagers. And I had one, in a recent video a month or so ago, she flies by me in this SUV thing towards a red light. And I'm like, there you go, jackass, just speeding up to the red light. And I pull up and she's, of course,
on her phone,
nose deep in her phone. And I just kind of hollered over, put your phone down. And she flips me off. And I had this string of expletives and I was like, yeah, I can't let that fly. So I put up the color bars, technical difficulties, game show music. 3 seconds later, we're back and we're riding again. I was like, no. And just play it up. If you're going to look, it's 2023. If you're going to do any kind of video, it's either got to be 100% information with a little bit of storytelling or a little bit of fluff mixed in to have that personality. Because, there's channels I watch that do like DaVinci Resolve tutorials, and they actually came out with videos where they're like, I cut out all the fluff. Now people don't watch as much. Go figure. So don't forget to do that. But if you're doing those informational videos, that's great. Like you do your installs and you're doing them first time. So you're showing the mistakes and everything. And that's all well and good. But if you're going to be out riding the bike, you got to have something that lets you stand out from the crowd. So people are like, oh, I remember this guy. He entertained me. I see one of his thumbnails. They're always on the same brand, the same font or whatever. Let's go watch another one of his videos. So you kind of have to you got to make your own sub niche.
No, and that's fair. I mean, because let's face it, right? You can have shitty quality, but if you have a personality that attracts you or you're engaged, and it's a win.
Yeah.
I'm just as boring in person as I am. Actually, I'm more boring in person. This is kind of fun. In person, I'm like, hi.
So, something I would recommend for you, if you want to actually incorporate riding with your install videos.
Whoa. Slow down. I'm not riding a bike. That's my neighbor's bike. You don't know that.
So here's what you do. You put a mic and a camera on your neighbor's helmet and have him ride your bike to another location where you show off the part you just installed.
Okay.
And you can talk about the part on the way there.
So every video will end with me going to Dunkin' Donuts and talking to the person in the drive-thru what they think of my new install.
Dude, I would watch that. I don't care if you're installing it on a Yamaha. That would entice me to watch your video.
I like it. Be like, hey, we're here at Dunkin', and
this is Joe in the drive-thru. Joe, what do you think of my new Custom Dynamics taillight?
I like it. See, we can make this work.
See, I'm your guy. I'm not Blue, but I'll be your guy for something that's motovlog related.
I think that's good.
Yeah, you got to be able to splice the stuff in. It's like if you watch some of the old school motovloggers, they always have their GoPro, and it's always the 1 or 2 camera setup, and they're always riding, and you never see them. But that's sort of passe now. I hate to say it, but you got to have the 2 cameras. You got to have the back and forth with the pattern interrupts and all the technical terms, and then mix in stuff like, a standalone camera. And now you're showing off the flux capacitor on your bike.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's not that. See, it doesn't have to be. People think it's a lot of work, but you just need to practice for 2,000 hours, and then you're good at it.
I'd rather shoot 12 hours of video for a 10-minute video on it.
Is that what you do, really?
No, it's true story. When I got the Pro Glow Custom Dynamics lights, which was the first video I ever did for them, I swear it had to be that long. It was absolutely a nightmare because you had to drill the whatever they call it, the holders for the side lights, and you had to do all this wiring and stuff. And it was just like, I was like, I am so never doing this again.
No, that's way too much work. The Dunkin' Across America tour. Dunkin' in the USA. There you go.
Oh, that's Dunkin' in the USA.
Yeah. Tie into
Wait a minute. So Adam has the big when it's not Bring It Home. What's the new thing called? The Convoy, Great American Convoy, or whatever it is?
Yeah.
So I could tell you have an idea there. So I could tell people I'm going to be at the, Medford Dunkin' Donuts between 2 and 2:15, and then people can ride with me for 3 minutes down the road to the next Dunkin' Donuts. I'm in. I am all in.
Dude, and think of the tax write-offs, all the stopping at Dunkin'. It's part of the recording process. It's required for recording.
Okay.
So you can write off on your taxes all the Dunkin' coffee, and then after like 3 or 4 stops, you'll just be so hopped up that you'll start recording vlogs and not even know it.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. See, I have a drive-through video from what was it? White Castle. Look in the guy's face is great when I roll up because he's not really sure because I shut the bike off when I ordered my food. He roll up and he's like, huh?
Oh man. I went through a COVID test on my Harley one time. I pull up and they're like, "Oh, you need to put your ID in the windshield." I'm like, "No, I don't. It'll slip into the fairing. I'll never get it back. I'm not a mechanic." And I was like, "How about I just hold it up like this instead?" And they were like, "Yeah, I guess that works." You gotta take your Harley weird places. I had the gout last year, and work was like, "Well, I know you're telework ready, but just take the week off and figure out your foot pain." I was like, "Okay, I'm riding every day. I have a heel shifter. I'm good. I can't lift my left big toe, so I can't upshift that way, but I can upshift with the heel shifter." And I put like 600 miles on the bike that week. It was great. It was painful as all hell, but I did it.
Hey man, as long as you're enjoying it, right?
I did it.
That's what I need to do. I need to put my heel shifter back on.
Yes, you do. Heel shifters are awesome. The Harley ones are spaced too close together, though. They need like 2 inches of extension.
Okay.
This is 2 inches, right?
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that because I had those on my Ultra. They are pretty small. It's cool though because I had that on my Intruder, and it was cool because it was really hard to get it in second gear, so you could just kick it really hard and get it in.
Yeah, the Vivero had them. They were spaced like 3 feet apart.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
So what would your advice be to somebody starting out?
Don't do it.
That's fair.
The ROI just isn't there. Just stop. There's not enough room with everybody watching road reality videos for your time slot. Okay. Now, you know what? The advice I would give is have fun with it. If you're not having fun, don't do it. So get one camera, one mic, go try it, see if you like any part of it, and if you do, try it. You know, keep at it. If 2 inches is 2 inches, see?
I always find it. I always find the question funny is someone will reach out to you, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I do find it funny. It's like, well, what camera do I need? It's like right there, you've answered your own question.
You don't know enough yet.
If you don't know what you need, you probably don't need it. Now, in all fairness, that's never stopped Setzer Pendants once.
No, he's got all the cameras.
You know, well, it's kind of like the Princess and the Pea, right? He wants to figure out what works for him. You know,
well, that's part of it. You know, when I discovered that they have this max lens mod, and I could get extra stability and a wider field of view without the stretchy arm look, I was like, I'm all in. Let me get one. And I tried it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I need a second one because I have 2 cameras. And then I destroyed one when my 9 fell off my bike. But I bought a third, and it's awesome, you know. But you gotta go at it a little bit slow. Yeah, you got one right there.
Yeah,
the Max Lens mod is great.
I've got that. I've got a 360. I've got another 9 around. Yeah, you know.
My Max is somewhere around here. I don't use it very often. You know, GoPro broke the player app. It doesn't export in H.264 anymore, at least on my computer.
Oh shit, that's a really good camera. That's what Monkey uses, the DJI Pocket 2. It's a that's actually what Seth's bought with the microphone that adapts to it, which is why I just have that's why I have DJI mics coming on Friday. I don't want to talk about it. You know.
You know what somebody needs to invent though is a cross-brand remote.
Okay.
Because if you don't record all of your ride, you need a remote. Because otherwise your fut's in here, your fut's in there. It's all the timing's off. You use a remote, they're all pretty close, right? But nobody makes a cross-brand remote, which drives me nuts because I'm all in on the GoPro ecosystem. So I want something that runs these and an Insta360 or DJI.
Well, that's the interesting thing that's got me thinking about going to DJI at some point. If I actually do shoot a lot of ride videos, is that the mics will actually start and stop the video, which I thought was pretty cool. That's something that Canon needs to have. I'd love that.
Oh, that would be awesome. I happen to like my remote a lot, though.
Okay.
I have to charge it up at least twice a year. The battery lasts freaking forever. Oh God, My Done Life is here. He's another techno nerd.
I think it's interesting that people get. Yeah, to your point, I think you can go off the deep end, or you can find something that. I mean, I've got what six lenses. I use that 24-105. That's a money lens. That's all I shoot with that or the 35.
Yeah,
35 is an amazing piece of glass, but yeah, it's it's what works. But then you give me a GoPro and I'm like, how's this thing work? I was playing with mine last night when we were talking, and I'm like, how the fuck does this thing work? I don't even remember.
Yeah, you have to, a lot of people I think just buy a camera and they put it on their helmet and go. And for them that might work, but once you try to go outside the box on any one of the settings, you kind of have to understand the rest of the settings. And that takes research. Time and effort and research.
Well, and you said it best too, is that if you have good audio, the video is secondary. Well, I would always argue video is secondary anyway.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have that engagement, it's not going to draw you in. But I went down the absolute other side of the rabbit hole. Well, no, I take that back. I was using the what was I using? Ceramonics. I was using the Work Ceramonics for a while, and that had a decent sound of it. But now it's like just a rabbit hole.
Yep. You need content, something to talk about. You need audio so that people can hear you. And we all know YouTube's going to crap on the video, so just do the best you can.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, right? If you can shoot in 4K because it looks good, but will it on somebody's phone, whether in the bathroom? You know what I mean? Like, you have these ideas of grandeur of like, oh, it's going to look amazing. And then you're like, you look at your analytics, you're like, oh, people are watching it on their iPhone. That's really glad I spent all this money.
Yep. Use a bigger font. When in doubt, blow it up. That's all they're going to see.
It's an odd sickness. It's really a sickness. And you know, I don't think gear makes the content, but gear certainly can help, assuming that, you know, you're proficient enough with it. It's not setting you backwards.
Yeah, if you're spending a half an hour setting up a shot, you're spending about 28 minutes too long. You know, how many times do you hear somebody say, "Oh, I wanted to record today, but it takes too long to set up my bike," or "It takes too long to set up to record the install"? Well, if you have like 17 selfie sticks and mounts and tripods and 4 cameras, you've played with the equipment enough to realize, I need this camera, this tripod, I'll get this shot. There, done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what does Mr. Rooney say here? Audio. I can't see the end of it. It's just like,
oh, he's saying the only audio he gets is when he records with his phone.
Oh.
But again, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. I mean, you could argue that, you know, half these channels don't have the latest and greatest camera equipment, and they're huge channels. So
hey, you don't need it. What is Shade Tree still running Hero 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Hero
lot
3. What's it? Do you know what his vlogging camera is?
No idea.
Because it's got to be like a DSLR mirrorless or something with a Rode mic on top of it. Because he always has top-notch video and audio in his off-bike stuff. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think it's a what I would say though is it's very easy to go down that rabbit hole when you don't know what you're using, like you said, and then it just becomes a hindrance. You know, it becomes an absolute nightmare because now everything's 12 times as complicated.
Oh yeah. There's so many people that are like, oh yeah, I recorded my ride, but I'm not going to edit it because, you know, I can't be bothered to learn how to edit, or it's too hard, and they lose interest in it. You got to have some interest in editing the videos because uncut video doesn't go very far, in my opinion.
No. Well, yeah, but then there also was the trend where people were just jump cutting constantly, and that drove me crazy. Sandoval was good for that for a while, where you know what? If he didn't say it exactly right, he had to jump cut it, and it was just constantly like jump cut.
That's a lot of my videos. I hide the jump cuts because I have 2 cameras rolling.
Okay.
Like if you watch one of my porch videos, like you watched my video on Dehancer the other day, there's a lot of cuts in there, but using a zoom to punch in a little bit and doing the jump cut hides it.
Okay, that's fair.
That was a half hour's worth of footage, and it got cut down to like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. It just froze up on my screen for a minute. Okay, so Des says Shade Tree's using the Hero 4, and he's got a Sony camera. Oh, man.
You guys with these Sonys, man. I don't know.
I love it. I was hemming and hawing about half a dozen.
Yeah.
And this one just kind of spoke to me. I don't know.
Does that have a zoom on it? I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, it's got a zoom right here, so you can zoom. It's 24 to 70. If it was a wider lens, that would be a little better, but you can get a longer selfie stick.
Okay.
So I have this in the vlogger handle, so I can get out a little bit wider of a shot, but keep the steady shot stabilization.
Gotcha.
I want that rock solid footage, like it was shot on a gimbal, without having to buy a gimbal.
Yeah, I had one of the, what is it, the second generation, I forget which, the SC of the DJI. That thing was awesome when you got it set up right, but you could never replicate setup because it didn't have the newer one they were showing me in the store it locks. So the settings are very incremental and you can get it exactly back to that. It's not sort of like, well, maybe it's there, maybe it's not.
That goes right back to your point. If it's a hindrance at that point.
Well, now that Frank has a gimbal, I'm going to make him be my cameraman.
Yeah. If Frank's got all the toys.
I tried to retire from YouTube and be like, look, I'll just be your cameraman. You be my drone pilot. We'll make it work.
Yeah, it's a killer combination.
It really is. I mean, although he shoots Nikons, so it's
you can convert him. You can convert him.
I don't know.
He bought a Harley. He can be converted.
That's true. That is true. So Frank, we're gonna get DJIs this weekend. So I'm getting rid of I'm going DJI completely. I'm getting rid of all my GoPros. You know,
and you can record it.
Just so it'll me backwards.
It could be your first vlog.
I don't want to ruin the illusion. If I ruin the illusion, then it's not the same.
No, it doesn't ruin anything. It's
Frank and I are supposed to do a 1K in a day, so I'll film that. That'll be interesting.
That would be super cool. And you don't even need audio for that. You just need like 10 seconds at a time every hour.
Yeah, that gimbal's badass on that little pocket camera. They actually made DJI made a DJI Karma, not the drone, but the Karma gimbal for the 7. That thing was amazing.
Oh yeah,
the back with it was great, and you never had to balance it because it was one camera. You know what I mean? It was designed strictly for that camera, so every time you popped it in, it was perfectly balanced. Yeah, you can use. It had issues with it. Interesting. Well, we can try the DJIs out when you come over this weekend. Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think simple is the way to go.
Yeah,
we had a chef at my previous position who we did I set up his video studio, and that's what it was. You just turned it on. If you turn the lights on, you turn the camera on. You never touch the settings because the lights never changed. And just film. It's super easy.
It makes it a lot easier. Like I have a softbox that's right here off camera, and I know what setting when I put it over here to record my porch videos because it's the only way to get a decent picture out of the camera and not have to like mount stuff on the walls. And I know it's like boom, boom, boom. I do the 3 steps. I'm ready to record, rock and roll. I know the output's going to look good.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's a lot to be said because that's why I bought the M200. It doesn't leave that tripod. So when I come in, I turn it on, the light comes on, the road comes on, and we're set. Yeah. There's a lot to be said. But that's why I wish I would have bought I wish I had a garage, because if I had a garage, that's what I'd do. I'd make it into a studio. I just put lights in there, and then you could just pop it up and you're ready to go.
Dude, that would be awesome. I don't have a garage either, so all my installs have to be a half hour long or less.
Yeah, I always laugh when people are like, "Oh, you know, you're it was kind of windy when you did your install," or it's just down. Like, I'm in my driveway. It's all I got. Like Sundays, Saturdays are, that beautiful overcast lighting where it's nice and, soft and you can work with it. And other days it's harsh as hell. It just is what it is.
You can't find it.
That is the reality of working in your driveway.
Yeah. Now for the wind, a lot of the newer editors have a voice isolation feature. Mm-hmm. So you can cut that wind noise they call it AI, but it's really just an algorithm.
Yeah, I couldn't get it to work with I couldn't get Premiere to cut the wind that good, but whatever. The new mics have dead cats. We'll use that. I don't like that dead cat look, but again, it is what it is. They're trendy. Everybody's got them. You see it. So it's not like it looks weird anymore because everybody has them.
Very true. I use the dead cat, the one that comes with the Sony. I use this thing all the time outside. It just clips on the top, and the Sony's got a great mic setup. It's got like 3 mics built into this area right here, and it does a great job. But I have Clarity, and DaVinci Resolve Studio has voice isolation built in, so you can use one or the other, and it's just a dial. and the wind noise goes bye-bye. You can keep the birds and drop the wind.
There was a plugin for Premiere Pro. I forget what it was that I tested that did that. It was pretty cool. It's when when work first started shooting video, I was messing with it.
Yeah.
It is cool. The only thing that that you have to, well, I mean, it's like buying too much of a bike, right? You got to find the happy medium and buy what's going to work for you. Because if you start out going big, it's a clusterfuck.
I can almost guarantee you that what you had tried was Ryzen Isotope, and it's like $1,200 for that plugin.
Yeah, this wasn't that much. I mean, it was a couple of bucks, but it was the problem we had at work is we were shooting everything in a commercial kitchen. So you had the echo, you had all the fan noises, you had all this like really weird stuff. And we were shooting with XA11 Canons, which they seem really cool. You're like, oh, it's a camcorder. They sucked. You shoot with an M50 and it looks 10 times better because there's some bokeh to it. You don't have to. It's just Anyway, I'm rambling, but
I love the bokeh. I'm a huge fan. That's one thing I don't like about the GoPro is you never get any of that because it's such a tiny sensor. There's no depth of field. It's just there it is. But those audio plugins have come down. Like the one I use is like $30.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's called Clarity. I did a whole video on it. It's absolutely amazing. I can be riding on my bike and sound like I'm sitting in your room, your studio there.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was a game changer. I found it like mid last year, and it made the editing faster. It made the editing easier on my ears, and it made the end product just sound like 10 times better. Phenomenal product.
Okay, we'll have to post a link to that in the description for people because I always think it's cool when you find that one thing that just works for you.
Oh, dude, it's literally like I said, it's a dial. You drag your mouse up and down, and it changes the point on the dial. And I know 65, and I'm done. There's my audio. There's my voice.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. If you can, the thing is, if you want to crank out 3 videos a week, you can't spend 8 hours on a video because there's all of your free time. If you're doing 1 video a week, sure, you can add this and that and the other thing in there. But being able to bang out a video quickly is so key to anything we're doing on YouTube.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, I know there's a lot of channels and it's not a dig to them. They're like, oh, I spent 12 hours on this video. I'm like, I can't find 12 hours free in a week most weeks.
Right. Like I have small kids.
It looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. But is it, especially with install stuff, there's a point of no return. There's a point where, you're just not getting that time back. You're not going to get the return back.
Right.
You need to find that balance because I think that, you can go with putting all that time and effort into it, but is it better doing that? Or is it better throwing out, 4 videos a week, 3 videos a week, 2 videos a week? What is the return?
I've tried a video a day for a week and it's a grind. It's absolutely 100% a grind.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Oh, you know what? I waited until I had 15 videos already uploaded and processed by YouTube with thumbnails, descriptions, titles, all that done. And then I scheduled them.
So Droop has a question. What is the video editor mixer that you showed, the Blackmagic one? What is that called?
It's the Speed Editor, and it's not a mixer, it's a keyboard. So this right here, it's the Blackmagic Speed Editor. It says it, you can't read it, but it says it right about there. Get it closer. And not in the light.
So what's that going to set you back?
I think it's $400 now. It was $300 when I bought it, and it comes with the studio license for Resolve. So you're working in the paid version of Resolve with the extra GPU acceleration and bells and whistles and stuff.
Interesting.
The best part of this is the jog dial because it's so much easier to use than your mouse to spin through footage.
Well, and that's kind of the other thing I was thinking about is, we were talking about the other night about burnout, is that I was seriously thinking about going back to, shooting 1 video, 2 videos a month and just editing the shit out of them and enjoying it rather than, trying to grind, because there's enjoyment in both, right? There's enjoyment in building the channel, but there's also a lot of enjoyment of just taking your time and working through it.
There is. So what I try to do is, like, I posted a picture on Instagram Thursday night or Friday night. I was editing a video and I was like, can I get this to work? And I got my logo to show up like it was painted on the clouds. And it moves across, it moves with the parallax of the clouds, because the hillside that obscures part of it is actually moving a lot quicker, obviously, than the clouds. So I tracked it to the clouds.
Interesting.
And then I had to add, what was it, a 3D keyer for the color for the electric poles and the electric lines, and that allowed the logo to show up behind those.
Okay.
So it shows up behind the hillside, behind the power poles and the lines, and looks like it's stuck on the clouds. And that was the goal, and it took me maybe a half an hour.
Have you ever seen a channel called, I want to say it's called Jet Productions, Jet Film? Hold on a second, I'll find it. He does absolutely amazing video work, and he puts out like one video every 2 months. And you're just like, damn, that Jet Films, that's who it is.
Jet Films? I'll have to look them up. You're going to put a link in the side chat?
Yeah, so he does this amazing cinematography work, and he doesn't he's only got 87 videos, but he's got like 21,000 subscribers because his work is just amazing. You know, he puts the effort into it, and I think that there's a lot to be said for, you know, slower and a higher end than it is to just grind. But, you know, again, it's got to work. I could say that, and I could get 3 videos in the group doing that and be like, nope, I'm out. So,
right. And look, doing what I'm doing, it's not evergreen content. It's stuff people are going to watch for a few days and then move on. So I don't spend the time editing a video for 7 hours when it's going to get 5 or 6 hours of watch time and 0 views after 3 days.
Yeah. You know? And the funny part with that is you do a video that you put a little bit of work into, and it goes great. And then you spend a video that you put your, you know, blood, sweat, and tears in, and it gets 3 views. Even your mom doesn't watch it. You're like, oh, fuck.
Funny story. My mom actually texted me today. She's like, I was watching your video that you put out today, and there's no audio. I'm like, Mom, it's your phone. Nobody else complained. I was like, come on, Mom. Oh, yeah. She has this funny thing where she's like, she'll call me and say, I watched your video today. I thought you were at work today. I'm like, I am at work. Do you think I just went for a ride and it automatically uploaded to the cloud and showed up on YouTube? It's not how any of this works, Mom.
I love that. It's like, oh, well, you said you were sick and you couldn't ride this week, but in your video, you looked fine. Yeah, it was shot 3 weeks ago, but thanks. Yeah. Or you put the video out in the winter and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like, you probably could figure that out, but okay.
Yep. You know, it's amazing, though, because you're an install channel. So your stuff is a lot more evergreen than what I do. So for you, it would make sense to put more time into editing and doing the fancy effects and overlays and stuff.
Yeah, you know, and I think with installs, especially like you said, with the evergreen stuff, it's good because you can use that to drive your channel and then still kind of work on your little fun pet projects. And, you know, I was doing a lot of mental health stuff. It never got views, but it didn't matter because the other content was driving the channel.
Yep.
That was just sort of put it out there and it landed where it landed. That's
exactly what happened to me. I've gotten at least 10% of my subscribers from one video where I show how to edit GoPro Max footage in DaVinci Resolve without running through it all in GoPro Studio app or whatever they call it to reframe it and then export it and then edit it. You can edit it in Resolve from basically the raw footage, and you can reframe it. So if you're like, oh, I didn't like how this was done, you can move it. You don't have to go through the whole export process from GoPro. Okay. And that saves a ton of editing time. I'm all about saving editing time.
Well, and that's sort of where the background I came from, right? I shot for newspaper. I shot everything JPEG, and I shoot RAW. It was like shooting slides. You either got it or you didn't. There was no right. But that's what I learned. That's why I think that the in-camera profile for me works so much better, because it's like, all right, I look at it, I got it, that's it. Like, let's just move on. You know, do a little bit of tweaking, but it's just a lot easier. Venus, why are you texting me, you big jerk?
He looked into a trip to Thailand. He's wondering if you've ever been to Angel City.
He's actually from Thailand. He pretends he's from Wyoming or Wisconsin or wherever he's from.
Montana.
He can say that, but
we were watching The Hunt for Red October the other day, and I forget the actor's name. Sam Neill. I always wanted to see Montana or something like that.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, all right, man. We're gonna start wrapping this up. So, what is your before we do that? Actually, this is the question I was going with. So, what is the video you're most proudest of? What have you done that's the video where you look at it and you're like, that's my jam? It doesn't matter if it hit or not.
You know what? My latest High Rock video is probably one of the ones I'm most proud of, because I incorporated the Sony, couple of GoPros, and the Max, but they were all shot. Each camera had a specific purpose in that video, and it had some neat riding footage. It had some great 360 cam footage at this High Rock place, which has this dramatic drop because it's a rock that just juts out, and then there's like a 200-foot drop to the ground. So I was able to use my selfie stick and throw that camera out 4 feet and get the side of the rocks and me and everything else. And it came together really well. And I'm really proud of that one.
Cool.
And it was one of the lowest days I've had in a long time, because it was the day after we had to put our dog down, one of our dogs. And I was like, I barely got out of bed. And I was like, you know what? I called into work. I'm not going to work. So I'm going to go ride. It's a nice day out. And I'm going to go back to High Rock and do this thing because I need something uplifting. Mm-hmm. And so going there was uplifting for me. And it was, 3 hours on a bike. So 3 hours of mental health.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for 3 hours on a bike for sure. All right, man. So as we the lawnmower video. What's the lawnmower video? I missed that.
The lawnmower video. So that's the first video I ever did. And it is driving the channel right now. Yeah, I posted this morning. Oh, it's absolutely horrendous. There's like a 30-second intro where it's just text and music, and then you get into this, and it's like the wooden John before he learned how to record anything. And I recorded this video just so I could remember how to clear out the jet and the carburetor on my lawnmower. And I figured, you know what? There might be a half a dozen people out there that this could help. And this spring, it has gone bonkers. And I've got a couple of vlogs that I've recorded one. I have to publish it. And then I've got a second one that I'm noodling over right now because it's absolutely gone bonkers this year. And it's just the funniest thing. I laugh every day when I look at the view count and I see how many thousands of views this stupid lawnmower video is getting. People are watching it. People are subscribing. People are commenting. It's like I need to buy a half a dozen lawnmowers and fix them.
Well, and that's where Blues Joke was. I did a video on how to install an Easy Pass, and it took off. And I'm like, I put an Easy Pass in my bag. And then you get people, and no joke, you're getting these questions like, well, what position was that in? How many inches away is it from the bend in your bag? And I'm like, it literally just put Velcro on it and it worked. It's amazing to me though what people will watch.
Yeah,
because you figure, right? If you came across that lawnmower video, you had to be looking for it. Chances are you didn't stumble upon it.
So
it makes me really wonder, like, what the hell are people doing?
I looked at the search results for my channel in the analytics page this morning because somebody asked, like, oh, what kind of search? Here's what I'm getting for search terms people are looking at my channel for. And I posted mine up, and they're like, it's all lawnmower stuff. And like one Vaquero, it's like somebody's searching Vaquero and they find one of my videos, and the other 11 people are looking for the damn lawnmower thing. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I never updated it. I never did anything with it but post it. And it's so off brand, but I left it there. And now it's got like, I don't know, 100 subscribers or something.
That's hysterical.
It's ridiculous. And like I said, I laugh at it every day.
I got flamed, and this is before I kind of got resilient to it. I got flamed when I did the how to get a gas in your Harley video because I just thought it was funny. And people were like going on about, oh, you're going to burn in flames. So this guy's a jackass. He made this video. Who the fuck does he think it is? And I'm like, you Googled how to put gas in your Harley. Like, I mean.
Who's dumber? The guy searching for it or the guy that did it?
and you claim that you're this seasoned rider. I'm like, but you Googled how to put gas in your Harley. This gets back what we were talking about before. It's like there is nothing better in this world than Harley people, because they get worked up over everything. And it's, I mean, and we talked about this, and I'm not going to go into it because I refuse to give people spotlight that throw shade, but I think it's really funny that people will build a whole brand out of trolling things, and people will watch it. Like at some point you got to realize, like, what am I watching here? Is this how I'm spending my time?
So where did you put your Easy Pass in your saddlebag?
So I put the Easy Pass on the right-hand side of my saddlebag on the lid. And it works every time.
Wow. I can't get mine to work.
But but again, it's weird. It just works. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you have people go like, oh, well, I have bag covers. I have rails. Does it work with your rails? I'm like, it just works. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but it works.
Yep. Everybody said, put it in the bag. I tried that. I still get the nasty grams from Easy Pass saying it doesn't work. It's not picking it up.
Well, the problem with the Ultra was, if you had the Ultra and you had the tour pack back all the way, for the longest time in Jersey, they couldn't read your plates. You just leave the GoPro, the thing at home. You go through all the Easy Pass exits you want. They'll never find you.
That's like the number one reason to upgrade to an Ultra.
Exactly. It pays for itself. I mean, sure, it's 30 grand, but you save $5 for every toll you go through. So it adds up.
Do that twice a day. That's $10. It's what, 300 days?
Yeah.
It's a year and a half of commuting.
Exactly. Phoenix, I'm glad that video makes me laugh every time I watch it. And the funniest part is the comments of people that, think it's absolutely real. It's like, you just missed the point. It's kind of like trolling Monkey. How many people didn't watch that video and flamed me? The best part about that is Mrs. Monkey's comment is pinned to the top of that video, and people still missed it. Like, come on, bunch of morons. But that's America, right? People live to be offended. It's
absolutely. That's why I try not to offend anybody in my videos.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, right? People want to spend their free time being offended so they can tell you they're offended.
I don't have time for that. I want to get a chuckle while I'm out riding, a chuckle when I edit, and a chuckle from the comments. That's my goal.
Phoenix, if you go back through the comments, there's somebody that's like, that guy doesn't deserve a wife like that. He treats her like shit. I'm like, did you watch the end when she's laughing hysterical?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to have to go back and watch that video.
People are absolute tools. They really are. It's amazing. But, it gets engagement, right? If you get engagement in the comments, then it builds. I mean.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the almighty algorithm.
Absolutely. It's absolutely about, it's just stupid. It really is. But I'm the same person. Like, I'll go and watch the dumbest video, and the next thing you know, I'm watching 8 of them. Like, I was watching DJI mic reviews. I must have watched 4 hours worth of reviews. I'm like, you would think after like the second or third, I'd understand what I need, but I'm just keep watching. I'm like, oh, it's cool. Keep my bitch. She's sugar mama, man. You can't mess with sugar mama. I got to make bike payments.
Oh yeah. Everybody needs a good sugar mama in their life.
Yeah, you need something, man.
Everybody needs more laughter.
Yes, 100%. We got to stop taking ourselves so serious. Just have some fun.
Yeah. I'm telling you, just go watch one of my videos every week, and you'll get 15 minutes of laughter, because you'll be like, who's this jackass smoking a cigar, drinking his coffee, riding along, trying not to wreck? It's comedy gold right there.
It's YouTube gold. So what? So as we're going to wrap up here, what's your final parting statements, or would you like to say as we close it out?
Hey, look, just have fun with life, because there's way too much negativity out there. So whatever you can do to add fun, do it. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Do it.
That's
where it's at.
That's it, man. If you're having fun, keep doing it. If you're not having fun, stop doing it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It doesn't matter what it is. I put my kids up for adoption. They were no fun anymore. I kid.
That's really funny. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. Where can they find you on social media?
YouTube.com/road reality. Same thing on Instagram.
Awesome. You guys go ahead and check out his channel. I would appreciate it. I don't know if we're going to be on next week or not. We may just have a hangout session. I'm not really sure what we're doing. I have some good stuff in the works. So look forward to that. I'm actually going to do, well, no, I'm not going to tell anybody I'm doing road trip stuff because then they won't believe me. They'll say it's fake news.
You're going to trailer the bike. We all know it.
But again, how many ride videos, how many travel videos do you watch that you go, well, that guy never really was on the bike that much?
There's a lot where you could wonder. You don't see their face.
People drive cars in movies. I'm just saying. I mean,
you get a stunt double.
That's what I got Frankie for, man. He's the jam. He's my stunt player. I always thought it'd be really funny to do a video like I've seen a couple of videos of that where it like cuts to me on the bike, but you can obviously tell it's not me. He's got like a big beard hanging out or something crazy.
That would be hilarious.
That's totally me. What do you mean?
I grew out my beard for this video.
How come?
I see that Behind Rudy's Fairing learned a bit tonight. I will say that if anybody has any questions, hit me up on Instagram. I'm happy to help where I can.
There you go.
I've got a little bit of experience with this whole YouTube thing. So
there you go.
If I can help, I'm happy to do it.
OMG, you have Dallas Face Mullet as your stunt double. The problem is you can't reach the pedals on your bike, but you got to work with what you got, buddy.
Doesn't he wear concrete shoes when he does it?
That'd be funny, actually. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Like I said, we may or may not be back next Wednesday. We might be taking some time off, but as always, I appreciate you guys hanging out. And we will see you on the next live. Denver and myself will be live on his channel Friday at 8 Eastern Standard, where I will enjoy Denver's package. It's a surprise package, so I may either wind up dead or it could be a new car. Who knows? It could be the keys to a CVO.
Good luck.
It is what it is. So, well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. And Dr. Harley's still live, so if you guys want to pop over there, I think that's where I'm going to be headed. So I hope you guys have a great time. Moose, how you doing, buddy? And
thanks for having me on, Bri.
Oh, anytime, man. I really appreciate hanging out with you, and I appreciate your insight on what you're doing. All right, guys, well, have a great week, and please remember you're not alone. Thanks, guys, so much for hanging out. See ya.